Well, welcome, Seeker. Come on in, settle down. Let's just close the door on all that digital noise for a minute, all right? Forget the endless grinding demands and the hollow distractions that kind of seem to define our modern world. Today, we're not just looking at dry text or statistics. We're literally charting a map for your ultimate life path. In this explainer, I'm going to share a truth with you, something that's been passed down through generations. Think of it like a mythic framework to understand your deepest drive, especially in a world that so often feels chaotic, overwhelming, and, frankly, painfully adrift. You're here, listening to this, because you feel a calling, a quiet but relentless pull towards something so much greater than yourself. I want you to really listen to the weight of these words on the screen. You show up because you refuse to let the world break people the way it tried to break you. Let that just settle in the air for a second. This isn't just some fleeting, feel-good thought. This is the ancient core of the true hero's identity. If you resonate with this at all, it reveals something incredibly profound about your nature. You see, you don't step onto the battlefield of life because you're craving conflict or glory or dominance. No way. You fight out of profound, fierce compassion. You've seen the darkness out there and you've made a firm decision. Not on my watch. So I'm going to ask you to sit with this heavy, timeless question. What is your true life purpose? It's a question that honestly haunts the modern mind, and the data backs this up with a pretty haunting truth. Over 70% of people today are just wandering. 70%. They're lost in this massive maze of distraction, actively searching for some kind of deeper fulfillment and meaning that goes way beyond just making money. They're looking for a reason to stand up every single day, a fire that won't just burn out the second the winter of hardship actually arrives. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the call of the warrior. Answering that call isn't just about getting warm fuzzies. It fundamentally changes your entire existence. When you heed the call and finally uncover that internal compass, you unlock a tangible peace and a very measurable power. Let's look at exactly what happens to the human mind and spirit when purpose is truly forged. The data shows us a striking reality: 78% greater happiness. People who arm themselves with a strong sense of purpose report massively higher levels of life satisfaction compared to those just drifting along without direction. This isn't a superficial thrill. This is the deep, enduring peace of knowing exactly what your path is, even as the fast-paced world is just spinning wildly around you. And with that deep peace comes an absolute ironclad defense: 65% lower stress. Purpose-driven individuals demonstrate this formidable inner resilience. When you have a mission, your mind is literally protected from the chaotic storms of modern anxiety. Think about the endless demands of life, the notifications, the constant pressure to perform. With a clear purpose, the petty frustrations of daily life just bounce off you harmlessly, because your eyes are fixed on a much, much larger horizon. You are insulated by the sheer weight of your conviction. Furthermore, we see an 83% improvement in decision-making. When you actually know your life's meaning, it acts like an ancient internal framework. Every single step you take through life's treacherous choices becomes perfectly aligned. Consider the difficult crossroads you face every day, right? Choosing a career path that serves the greater good versus one that just drains your soul for a paycheck. Or picking allies who uplift your spirit versus companions who betray your values. With purpose, you aren't guessing anymore. Your purpose dictates your path, cutting through all that confusion like a sharpened blade. Moving on to Section 2, Ancestors of the Battlefield. To understand who you are meant to become, we kind of have to look backward. We need to explore the lineage of warriors who came before us, because true strength and what it actually means to be a warrior has evolved dramatically across the ages. Throughout history, warriors formed these distinct classes built on just unbelievable discipline. We have the Spartans of ancient Greece, raised from childhood in that rigorous agoge system, standing shoulder to shoulder to form the unbreakable phalanx, literally an impenetrable wall of bronze and muscle. Then you've got the samurai of feudal Japan, stoic, resolute, completely bound by the strict ethical codes of Bushido, valuing honor above life itself. The Mongol horsemen, moving with unmatched speed and tactical precision across vast, unforgiving territories. And of course, the knights of Europe, mounted warriors in shining armor, tethered to the sacred ideals of chivalry and valor. They completely commanded ancient battlefields with rigid codes and absolute physical dominance. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is observing the evolution of the fight itself. The ancients, they required brute physical strength. It was all about enduring bodily pain, conquering foes with spear and shield, taking territory by force. But your battlefield is remarkably different today. The modern warrior requires profound ethical strength. You aren't tasked with conquering land, you're tasked with carrying suffering, protecting the vulnerable, and maintaining this unbroken willpower against totally invisible adversaries. You are a legend who chooses kindness as your ultimate weapon. Which brings us to Section 3, Forging Your Inner Armor.
But look, ethical strength isn't something you're just magically born with. It has to be hammered into shape. Let me guide you into the inner forge, where you've got to translate deep, unflinching self-awareness into the unyielding steel of your new warrior identity. It all starts with a discipline of self-reflection. You have to establish a practice. Maybe it's daily journaling without judging yourself, or mindfulness meditation just to quiet the external noise of the modern village. You need to actively mine your peak experiences for clues to your destiny. Look back at the moments you felt most alive. What elements were there? Those aren't just memories, my friend. They are the raw ore, the exact blueprints for your armor.
To forge your internal compass, you must weigh your soul against these 4 pillars and identify your absolute core values. Are you driven by personal values, dedicating yourself to health, relentless self-growth, and vitality? Or perhaps intellectual values, pursuing wisdom, uncovering truth, and sharing knowledge to light up the dark? Maybe your foundation is built on social values, fighting for justice, cultivating deep community, and lifting up the marginalized. Or do achievement values compel you, demanding excellence, mastery, and creating a lasting legacy? You have to choose the principles you're willing to stand firmly on. These are the immovable anchors for your long journey ahead. Let's just pause for a second. Ask yourself this essential question directly. What activities make you lose track of time? To find your purpose, you absolutely must locate those passions and natural strengths that create an effortless state of flow. Think about it. What problems in the world deeply bother you? Like, to the point where you literally cannot look away? What conversations energize your spirit and make your heart beat faster? The intersection of what you're naturally good at and what you care deeply about, that is exactly where your calling lies, just waiting to be claimed. Section 4, Slaying Your Inner Demons. Let's move to and see how this builds. Because as you begin to forge this identity, I have to warn you about the greatest battle you're going to face. It won't be fought against external enemies. Nope. It's the invisible, silent war against your own limiting beliefs. You have to systematically strike down your inner demons using these 5 steps. Imagine a warrior facing the demon of self-doubt. First up, drag that belief out of the shadows. Identify it clearly. Second, question its validity with hard evidence from your past victories. Third, replace that insidious whisper with an empowering alternative. Fourth, take small, challenging actions that prove the old belief entirely wrong. And fifth, surround yourself with a shield wall of supportive allies who remind you of your true strength. Listen closely to the lies your demon whispers. Maybe it says, "It's too late to find my purpose," or "I don't have enough resources, I'm just not strong enough." Actually, scratch that. It's usually an even quieter, persistent nagging. Transforming these thoughts requires you to treat yourself with profound self-compassion. You must offer yourself the exact same kindness, the exact same patience you would offer a fellow soldier facing doubts right on the eve of battle. Remember, even the greatest heroes have to heal their unseen wounds so they can grow stronger for the road ahead. Section 5, The Shield of Compassion. So, the crucial point is, once your inner demons are subdued, you are ready to wield the absolute ultimate secret of the warrior's existence. The strength you've built, this armor you've just forged, it's not for your own glory, not at all. Your power is meant entirely for the service of others. This is the ultimate truth of the warrior identity. You are an unbroken, moral shield, standing between vulnerable people and the pain they simply cannot handle alone. You take hits so others don't have to. You push through setbacks because you are protecting what matters: your friends, your family, the good people of this world who desperately need a defender. Invincibility isn't about remaining unhurt, it's about remaining unbroken. And this ancient philosophy, it is perfectly backed by stunning modern data. People who dedicate their time to helping others are 7.5 times more likely to find true meaning in life. 7.5 times. To put that into perspective, when you contribute to something beyond yourself, your own well-being absolutely skyrockets and despair plummets. Your mission to serve is literally the fuel that will sustain your spirit through the longest, darkest nights. Giving to others is, ironically, the most selfishly incredible thing a warrior can do, because it permanently cements their place in the fabric of humanity. And finally, Section 6, The Eternal Fight. You are now fully prepared for the mythic reality of your calling. But you must understand that this is not a storybook. There is no single glorious final battle where you defeat the villain and then just rest peacefully forever. No, you are stepping into an eternal fight, a lifelong reality as a protector who uplifts and inspires. Meaning lives in the daily choice to stand up, be good, and protect. It lives in the fight itself, not the victory, not the legendary songs they might sing about you, but the gritty, daily choice to stand up even when your bones are exhausted. The daily decision to be good, even when the world around you is cold, cynical, and indifferent. The daily commitment to protect, even when absolutely no one is watching. That is your progression arc. That is what it truly means to carry the fire.
The ancient scholars always remind us, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. And this brilliantly illustrates our point. Let those words from Robert Byrne just hang in the air for a moment. Your quest for meaning isn't some final destination you're magically going to arrive at. It is the very act of walking the path itself. Every single time you get knocked down by failure or heartbreak, and you wipe the blood off, look the world in the eye and say, all right, round 2. You are actively living your purpose. The struggle is not in the way of your purpose. The struggle is the forge.
You've seen the ancient maps. You know the history of those who bled before you. And now you understand the immense, world-altering power of an unbroken will that is guided by a fiercely compassionate heart. The tools are right here in your hands. The path is completely cleared of illusion. And honestly, the world is desperately waiting for your strengths to arrive. So I leave you with this one final challenge, a question to carry with you into tomorrow. What kind of legend will you choose to become?